Hi, I'm Nate,
And I'm Andrew.
and welcome to our show, Two Beards Please. We are two Wisconsin guys with houses full of women.
Which sounded a lot better when we were in our 20s.
We're both married with 2 daughters each, and we will be getting together monthly to talk about life, tell stories, and try to make each other laugh.
And hopefully, you too. I could fill a notebook.
Have you ever tried to jump your car?
Well, yes. So the L was really good at jumping. There was a street in Janesville where I grew up where the cross streets, the way the street is like it's like domed a little bit,
Yep.
right? So the middle, the water runs
Crested,
off.
yeah. Yep.
So if you get to the curb side of the cross street, you would hit that crest just right, or you could pull the car off the ground.
Yep.
Right? So you would jump every block. You could jump the car if you got going fast enough.
Yep.
So we used to do that a lot.
So we had a country road that crossed a train track out in the middle of nowhere. And again, it was one of those where it went up to, so it was an uphill, maybe not a super big incline, but enough where the top of the train track was. If you were doing a good rate of speed, you could get some air.
You get vertical.
So what I did, I decided it would be a great idea. And this was during football camp, I think. So I know I had my helmet and stuff with me.
Safety first.
Safety first. So I was out there. I had my helmet on in this stupid little Chevette. So here I am, 6'3", 270 pounds with a helmet, football helmet, in the stupid stick shift Chevette. And I don't know how fast I was going. I was going fast enough to. So I was smart. I put the mouth guard in because I knew if I was going to hit, that was going to be my biggest problem, was a concussion from my teeth clamping together.
Right.
So I did get air. I don't know how much. I was going for like the Dukes of Hazzard over a bridge type air.
Yeah.
I clearly didn't get that much.
But in your imagination,
my mind,
you did. Oh man, it was epic.
And I do know that all 4 wheels got off the ground. And again, do not try this at home.
That should be the disclaimer at the top of the episode.
Don't try any of this shit at home.
Don't
do it. Just don't do it. Because it's funny now, but it could have. It was
funny then. It's the in between time between then and telling it now.
Yeah,
where probably not so funny.
Well, it wouldn't have been funny if it had a normal result
or a different ending.
Different ending.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and I have a ton of those stories. I can remember I was probably 16, 17, and we were out in Colorado visiting my cousin. I'd never driven on a mountain road before, right?
Yep.
And so it was him and I and like 2 of his friends in the car, and we were in my mom's had like a Corsica or some like 4-door sedan, And we were going down in the switchbacks, and it's all paved, and you can kind of get the wheels to squeal a little bit.
Yep.
And then it's a straightaway, and so you just floor it as fast as you can. And then all of a sudden, the road turns gravel, and then it does a switchback.
Yep.
And so, everybody's screaming, and I just cranked the wheel and somehow did like the most perfect,
this epic slide
around the whole corner, and we stop the car, and everybody gets out and cheers and everything. And we go over, and there's just like a sheer cliff.
Yeah, and your tire tracks were about 3 feet from the cliff.
And so you just
another 5 miles an hour, and you would have been
dead.
I'd
have been over a cliff. So it's just stuff like that where I think I just pray to God that Emma isn't as stupid as I am.
Well, again, it really comes down to that, the grace of God.
Yeah.
I would have been a spot on the road with some of the stupid stuff.
And I'm really hoping that Emma's not as dumb as I am. So I guess time will tell.
So this is less of a speed story and more of a stupid thing kids do in the vehicles.
All right. Hey, is this going to become X-rated all of a sudden?
No. No, this was me.
Shield your ears, kids.
Me and one of my high school buddies where we drive. I grew up in a real small town where there was probably 6 bars, 4 churches, and 3 gas stations, and that was pretty much it. There's nothing else. I take that back. There was 3 gas stations. So we had to go to Stevens Point, which was the nearest larger town. To us, it was the big city. Now, going back to Point, it's like a smaller town.
Sure.
Bigger town, but not a huge city.
It's not like Milwaukee.
Right, it's not like Milwaukee, correct. So we would drive to Point and go to Hardee's and do stuff up there. And my one friend and I were in an honors band that met at the University of Stevens Point. Mm-hmm. It was a high school area honors band. So we'd go up every weekend for rehearsal, and we'd stop either at Hardee's or Hot and Now or one of the
Again,
fast food
that's not
places.
actually the story, right? Hot and Now?
No, that's not part of the story.
Okay. Whew.
So we stopped at Hardee's. I remember this vividly one night. We stopped at Hardee's and we ate inside. These are the days of you had the styrofoam containers for the burgers.
Sure.
So what we did was we thought it'd be a great idea to take the little paper ketchup containers and fill those up and put like a half dozen or so inside the to-go containers. So we each had probably 6 or 8 of those little ketchup packets.
Yeah, like ketchup Molotovs.
Exactly.
Right? Pretty much, right? Yeah, okay. All right, I'm following you.
So, and we're driving. We're in my piece of crap Chevette. And
we're rear-wheel drive sports car.
Yes, rear-wheel drive sports car.
Got it.
So we're driving in the city of Stevens Point, going to the university to where our band practice was. And we're taking turns lobbing ketchup Molotovs out of the window at oncoming cars.
Oh, yeah, you were genius.
So I think we only hit one.
Sure, because,
because it's not that easy.
Right.
I mean, these are small, they're light,
right.
they're not really doing a whole lot. But, yeah,
again, a lot of lift.
Not bright, not...
No,
If I would have gotten hit by a ketchup packet as an adult, man, I'd be pissed.
Like it just happens to you tomorrow.
Yeah,
you're
if it happens to me tomorrow,
that kid, and you're going to track him down no matter. And this is another thing my wife and I talk about, because the guy that I said earlier, the guy that was on his phone and wouldn't go in the green light, like I gave him a little courtesy honk after I let him, and then he flips me off.
Yep.
And I, got a little mad and I just let it go, but I told Marge, I said, if you and the kids were in the car, I'm skipping church, and I'm following that guy to wherever he's going, and then we're going to have a discussion. Right? So, again, the same thing. Somebody's throwing ketchup packets at me.
Yeah.
It's over, buddy.
Yep.
Yeah, I just have a lot of stupid stories, a lot of stupid driving stories. I was always the friend that drove everywhere, so... I mean, I had a car. Some of my friends didn't have cars. I still volunteer to drive everywhere. And like as we discussed the last episode, now I volunteer to drive because it's more comfortable for me. But again, I just really love to drive, and I still like to drive. And so there's so many stories about stupid things. There was in the park where I grew up, there was this one curvy road that went uphill that they closed in the winter, right? But in the first snowfall, they hadn't closed it yet, so you could go up there and you could get the car fishtailing, and in your mom's car, and you get to the top of the hill, and instead of fishtailing a little bit, you end up doing like 5 loops, right? And there's all kinds of people at the top of the hill, and they're just cheering you, and you think it's the greatest thing in the world. And then I look back on it now and like, hey, I'm gonna get our license, and I'm like, please don't be as stupid as I am.
We used to try to do the donuts in a school parking lot.
Sure.
So we'd go there after the snowfall.
Yep.
And again, with the rear-wheel drive Chevette, that was real easy to spin that thing out.
Right.
Yeah.
It took a little more effort to spin out the Escort luxury.